What's good, Vikings Nation? It's time to talk about the purple and gold. And oh boy, do we have some spicy news to unpack. The Minnesota Vikings are at the center of some major quarterback trade rumors in 2025, and two names are stealing the spotlight: Kirk Cousins and Jameis Winston. Cousins, our former QB1, is caught in a messy situation in Atlanta, while Winston's name is popping up as a potential trade target. Can you feel the tension already? Who's ready to dive into this quarterback carousel? Let's set the stage. The Vikings have pinned their hopes on J.J. McCarthy, our 2024 first-round pick, to lead the charge in 2025. But with McCarthy still finding his footing after a rookie season lost to injury, the backup QB situation is raising eyebrows. Sam Howell's shaky start in training camp has fans like us wondering, do we need a veteran like Cousins or Winston to steady the ship? Let's dig into why these rumors are heating up and what they mean for our Vikings. Here's the hook. Kirk Cousins, with his massive $40 million cap hit, is reportedly on the trade block in Atlanta, but his no-trade clause and hefty contract make things tricky. Meanwhile, Jameis Winston's affordable deal and gunslinger style have teams, including our Vikings, buzzing. Stick with me as we break down every angle of this drama. Hit that like button if you're pumped for Vikings news. Alright, let's talk Kirk Cousins, the man who led our Vikings for years before heading to Atlanta. In 2024, Cousins threw for 3,508 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions in 14 games. But his late-season struggles and a benching for rookie Michael Penix Jr. have the Falcons rethinking their $180 million investment. Can you believe they signed him to that monster deal and then drafted a QB in the top 10? Talk about buyer's remorse. Now, here's where it gets juicy. There's chatter about Cousins possibly returning to Minnesota. Yeah, I know, it sounds wild. The Vikings moved on from Cousins in 2024, opting for youth with McCarthy and a compensatory draft pick that landed us receiver Ty Felton. But with McCarthy still unproven and Sam Howell struggling in camp, described as a beat too slow by The Athletic, could a reunion with Cousins be in the cards? What do you think, Vikings fans? Would you welcome Kirk back? The problem? Cousins' contract is a beast, $40 million in 2025, jumping to $57.5 million in 2026 and 2027. Plus, he's got a no-trade clause and isn't keen on being a backup. A return to Minnesota feels like a long shot, especially with McCarthy as QB1, but if our rookie stumbles, the rumor mill says we might look at veterans like Cousins. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would Kirk be a hero or a headache? Now, let's shift gears to Jameis Winston, the former #1 pick who's got everyone talking. Winston's with the New York Giants in 2025, but with Russell Wilson and rookie Jackson Dart in the mix, he's likely their QB3. Bleacher Report's latest piece suggests Winston could be traded. And guess who's in the conversation? Our Minnesota Vikings. Why? Because Winston's a high-energy, high-risk gunslinger who could fit Kevin O'Connell's system like a glove. Winston's 2024 stats with the Browns tell the story: 2,121 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions in 12 games, with a 69.5 PFF passing grade. He's got 11 big-time throws but also 18 turnover-worthy plays. Classic Jameis. At 31, he's younger than Cousins and way cheaper, with a $3 million cap hit in 2025 and $5 million in 2026. That's pocket change compared to Kirk's deal. Could Winston be the perfect bridge or backup if McCarthy or Howell falter? Here's the kicker. Winston's style is similar to Sam Howell and Nick Mullins, the kind of QBs O'Connell loves. Guys who sling it deep, even if it means a few picks. But would the Giants let him go without a massive offer? And would Winston be cool with a backup role in Minnesota? Vikings Nation, let me know in the comments. Is Jameis the spark we need, or too much of a wild card? Let's zoom out and look at the Vikings QB room in 2025. J.J. McCarthy is the guy, no question. Drafted 10th overall in 2024, he's got the pedigree, but missing his entire rookie year due to a torn meniscus means he's still a bit of a mystery. Training camp reports say he's showing promise, but ups and downs are expected for a 22-year-old stepping into a Super Bowl-caliber roster. Are you confident in JJ, or do we need a safety net? Behind McCarthy, we've got Sam Howell, acquired in a draft weekend trade from Seattle, and undrafted rookie Max Brosmer, who's earning praise from Coach O'Connell for his smarts. But Howell's early camp struggles have raised red flags, and Brosmer's more of a long-term project. Brett Rippon's also in the mix, but he's fighting for the QB3 spot. With this group, do you think we're set, or should we be eyeing a veteran like Winston? Here's the suspense. If McCarthy gets hurt or struggles, the Vikings could be forced to hit the trade market. Names like Cousins, Winston, and even free agents like Carson Wentz or Ryan Tannehill have been floated. The clock's ticking as training camp rolls on. Will GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah make a bold move? Drop your predictions below. Back to Kirk Cousins for a second. His situation in Atlanta is straight-up drama. After signing that massive $180 million deal with $100 million guaranteed, the Falcons shocked everyone by drafting Michael Penix Jr. at number 8 in 2024. Cousins, still recovering from his 2023 Achilles tear, started 14 games but got benched late in the season. Now Atlanta's looking to trade him, but his $40 million cap hit and no-trade clause make it a tough sell. The rumor mill's buzzing about possible landing spots for Cousins, like the Browns or Steelers, but Minnesota's been mentioned too. Imagine Kirk back in US Bank Stadium, wearing purple again. It's a stretch, especially since he doesn't want to be a backup and McCarthy's our future. But if JJ hits a rough patch, could Cousins' experience be the answer? What's your take, Vikings fans? Here's the twist. The Falcons could save $27.5 million by trading Cousins, but who's taking on that contract? Teams like Cleveland, with Deshaun Watson's injury concerns, or Pittsburgh, still waiting on Aaron Rodgers, might bite. But with Cousins turning 37 in August, is he worth the price? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. Jameis Winston's story is just as intriguing. The guy's a fan favorite for his big arm and bigger personality, but his time with the Giants might be short-lived. With Russell Wilson as the starter and rookie Jackson Dart in the wings, Winston's reportedly on the trade block. Bleacher Report says he'd be a top target for QB-needy teams, and the Vikings are in that conversation. Could Jameis bring some swagger to Minnesota? Winston's deal is a steal. $3 million in 2025 and $6 million total over 2 years. Compare that to Cousins' $40 million cap hit, and it's no wonder teams are eyeing Jameis. His 2024 performance showed he can still sling it, with 11 big-time throws but also 18 turnover-worthy plays. That's the Jameis roller coaster, high highs, low lows. Would you take that risk in Minnesota? The suspense builds. If the Vikings trade for Winston, he could be a high-end backup or even a short-term starter if McCarthy's not ready. But the Giants might demand a big offer, and Winston's history of turnovers could give us pause. Vikings Nation, what's the move? Roll the dice on Jameis or stick with Howell? Drop your hot takes below. Let's talk about the Vikings strategy under GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. This guy's all about building for the future, and letting Cousins walk in 2024 was a masterclass in cap management. That move netted us a compensatory pick, which turned into receiver Ty Felton, and a trade that brought in Sam Howell. Kwesi's playing chess, not checkers, but is our QB depth ready for the big stage? The Vikings passed on big-name free agents like Joe Flacco, Gardner Minshew, and even Winston earlier this offseason, banking on Howell and Brosmer behind McCarthy. Now, with Howell struggling in camp, there's talk we might need to revisit the trade market. Are we one injury away from a crisis? Or is this roster built to handle the storm? What do you think, fans? Here's the cliffhanger. Training camp is make or break for Howell. If he can't turn it around, the Vikings might have to act fast. Names like Winston, Case Keenum, or even a wild card like Aaron Rodgers have been linked to Minnesota. Will Kwesi pull the trigger on a trade, or trust the young guns? Let's hear your predictions. Picture this. It's Week 1, 2025, and JJ McCarthy's leading the Vikings out of the tunnel at US Bank Stadium. The crowd's roaring, but behind him, who's holding the clipboard? That's the million-dollar question. Sam Howell's got the inside track as QB2, but his shaky start in camp has fans nervous. Could a veteran like Winston or even Cousins be waiting in the wings? The Vikings roster is stacked. Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Greenid, and a Brian Flores defense that's ready to dominate. But without a reliable backup, one injury could derail our Super Bowl dreams. Jameis Winston's affordable deal and big play potential make him a tempting option, but his turnover issues are a red flag. Would you trust Jameis in a pinch, or is Howell still our guy? Here's the drama. The NFL's a brutal league, and QBs go down. If McCarthy gets banged up, we need someone who can step in and keep this team in the playoff hunt. The trade deadline's looming, and the Vikings might have to make a tough call. Vikings Nation, who's your pick for QB2? Hit the comments with your thoughts. Let's get real for a second. Kirk Cousins back in Minnesota? It's a fun thought, but it's hard to see it happening. Cousins gave us some great years, with 4,547 yards and 33 touchdowns in 2022. But his Achilles injury in 2023 and struggles in Atlanta show he's not the same guy. Plus, his $40 million cap hit is a tough pill to swallow. Are you nostalgic for Kirk, or ready to move on? The Vikings are all in on J.J. McCarthy, and that's the right call for a team with a Super Bowl window. But the backup situation is where things get dicey. Jameis Winston's name keeps popping up, and his fit in Kevin O'Connell's aggressive, pass-heavy system could be electric. Imagine Winston airing it out to Jefferson. But can we handle the turnovers? What's your vibe on this, fans? The plot thickens. If the Vikings don't make a move now, they might be scrambling mid-season if disaster strikes. Cousins might end up in Cleveland or Pittsburgh, but Winston could be the perfect low-cost, high-reward addition for us. Let's hear it. Should we chase Jameis or trust our current roster? Drop your takes below. All right, Vikings Nation, we've covered the quarterback chaos. From Kirk Cousins' Atlanta drama to Jameis Winston's trade rumors. The Vikings are at a crossroads in 2025, with J.J. McCarthy carrying our hopes and a backup situation that's got us all on edge. Are we one move away from locking in a playoff run? Or is this roster ready to roll as is? Here's the final twist. Training camps in full swing, and the clock's ticking for Kwesi Adofo-Mensah to shore up our QB depth. Winston's affordable deal and big arm make him a fan-favorite target, but Cousins' experience could tempt us if the price is right. With a Super Bowl-caliber roster, we can't afford to mess this up. What's the play, Vikings fans? Trade for Winston, stick with Howell, or dream big with Cousins? Let's wrap this up with a call to action. Smash that like button if you're hyped for the Vikings 2025 season. Drop your hottest takes in the comments. Who's our QB2? And do you want Kirk or Jameis in purple? Subscribe to the channel for more Vikings news, and share this video with your fellow fans. Skol Vikings! Let's make some noise in 2025.